Let's see if I put one leg here and the other one up here.
Oh my god! Wow!
That was good. Took me a good 30 minutes though to retain that from childhood. When Cody taught me that group shot. Brad. Can I get it? Deja vu, I just been in space before. That was almost a kickflip. It may actually be in my DNA.
Bruh. And oh.
Good shit.
Man, I'm dead.
Pull yourself up. It's like a quick.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.
So I'm officially skateboardless. Now, why is that? Well, that Wii Sham board that I bought off Facebook, I got it a week or two ago, I think 2 weeks ago. Now, there wasn't many people there last weekend at night, but there was families here, and as I was riding, you saw the stuff that I did today. I relearned the Ollie. I learned to drop off a curb, whatever that's called. I relearned how to tic-tac properly. I tried manualing a little bit, and I was not going to try a fucking power slide, even though eventually I will. Spitfire wheels. It was a 54 millimeter 90 DD, I believe. Got those. Those came in today. Put those on the board because the board had came with like some really cruiser wheels for some reason, and so I got some really nice smooth wheels that we could actually skate at the park with and do tricks. As towards the end of this day, which was I spent like 2 hours here, like right around the last 30 minutes of me skating, the skateboard was making this, and it was also turning one way. So if I went straight on the board, it would turn left. If I flipped the board and went straight, it would turn right. So I was wondering what that issue was. I looked under the board and one of the bushings was falling off. And I was like, what the hell? That sucks. And then I looked it up and So I looked it up and realized that basically it's the bushing. I looked at the other truck and the bushing's just gone, dude. The bushing is gone, and the bushing that I was looking at was like halfway off. So I just peeled it off, threw it, and then just looking at my board thinking, what am I gonna do? Like, am I gonna go out and find a replacement for it, or maybe I can use this as an excuse to get an actual professional board. I didn't know if I was gonna really get into it again, get into skating and stick to it. So I wanted to get a cheap one and just learn with that and be humble about it. And I was for 2 weeks. People would come and go, and there was this one family that came in. It was just this dad, and he had his 3 or 4 girls, all different ages. You had like 5, 7, 10, 11, something like that. And I didn't notice them until the youngest one came on a little scooter, a little plastic scooter, and as I was going to roll in to this ramp that you saw in the last video, basically this girl pops out of nowhere as I'm looking at it, and she had climbed up the little ramp, dude. I turned around like, the hell? And she was like, hey, I really like your board. And I said, thank you. And then I look at the board again, I look at her, and she's like, and then as I'm turning to walk away, she's like, yeah, I really like those pink flowers. And I said, thank you very much. And then I drop it, go to skate again, and it turns. And then I'm reminded of the bushing. So I'm sitting down and I'm just looking at the people skate, and I'm thinking, what am I gonna do with this? And so I see her come again behind me and then go that way. And then I'm like, hey, did you like my board? Did you say you like my board? And she went. And I said, what's your name? And she goes, Abby. And I say, okay, Abby. And then I wait for the next guy I see, and the father's like right fucking behind me, which is awesome. We really need fathers like that in this world. And I said, hey, is she yours? Is Abby yours? And he goes, yeah. And he smiles. So I basically told him what I told you, and I said, so I'm wondering if you would allow me to give it to her. And he basically said, yeah. He was like, are you sure, man? Are you sure? And he said that so many times in our talk. And every time he told me that, I told him like, yes, I'm sure. And here's an extra detail. Like, I told him how difficult the woman made it selling her daughter's skateboard to me, like not leaving it out on the porch like she said she would, and me waiting an hour in Austin for her to come back from a game. Or no, I didn't tell him that, but that is what happened. Bruh. But I would tell him like, yeah, like I'm sure, like I wanted an excuse to get a professional board, and I know I'm going to get into it. I kept giving him details, and by the end of it, he knew the whole story. And he was like, yeah, thank you so much, man. He was very grateful for it. And then his other girls came, and they were all looking at it and playing and rolling on it, and he was holding their hands and Abby's hand as she was riding it. Yeah, I told him the bushings are the only issue, and that's why it turns one way. and you would have to get those replaced. But if you're okay with getting those replaced and, you know, giving it to your daughters, I'd love to give it to you guys. And he was just like, yeah, man, that's so awesome, thank you. He said it was the bushings, and I explained to him like what the problem was and how to replace it and stuff. And I was offering my damn skate tool, and he mentioned, oh, I should have some at home, thank you though. And he mentioned how he was a skater when he was young, and he stopped in his early 20s ish, or as a teenager, and he never picked it back up. He's just here to support his daughters and stuff, and they all had scooters, the little plastic ones, and they were now riding the skateboard, and they were rolling around, they were having fun. Blessed, and you will be blessed. Like, inside, I wanted a professional board. Usually when I get into new hobbies, I'll just go all out, buy expensive shit, and just never pick it up again. Like, my roller skates, they're just sitting at home in the box, and I don't ride them. I know with roller skating, as an example, I got the roller skates like 4 years ago, still at home in the box, brand new. Rode it maybe twice. And I know from that, like, it's me. The problem is me. I can actually say to myself, I want to get into this hobby, I want to have fun on my days off, and I want to do this one thing. If my source of dopamine is Instagram or YouTube or something, I can stop myself and say, hey, let's leave that for the times at work when we're on break or there's nothing to do. So I'm actually stepping outside of myself and saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So it's just like a hobby, dude, sticking to a hobby. But for me, it's a little bit difficult. And for you, it might be doing something else, and that might be difficult. But for everybody else, it's easy. It doesn't matter what it is. So we all learn our lessons, and did not think this would be a life lesson, but dude, they're all riding it, they're all having fun. I'm like, bro, that's so sick. And he said exactly what I was thinking. I didn't say it because I didn't want to put it out there like, oh, this is what I expect from you after giving you this board. But what he said was, yeah, you might see her one day, like on YouTube or whatever, on TV or whatever. And I'm like, dude, that's exactly, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. I've got probably 4 young little people to get into skateboarding and have a hobby that they love and fall in love with, possibly, or not, whatever. But I gave them that opportunity. It's up to them. I don't care what happens. But I gave them that opportunity, dude. And it's so sick. His father, their father might have just got them skateboards and stuff when they were older, but dude, I just saw the door and I opened that bitch up, bro. I opened that bitch up. So after that, we shook hands and I left the park, walking. It's a good thing I didn't skate here, fuck. So with that being said, great story, and stay tuned for part 3 with my new board.
So players, I am currently editing this video in bed, and came to the end of it and wanted to show you exactly right there. I got one of these boards. My dad and I used to love Arizona tea. I never drank it, but I would see him drinking it all the time, and I realized after what this guy said, I'll play you the clip right now.
Why not increase the price and therefore increase the profit?
We're successful. We're debt-free. We own everything. Why? Why have people who are having a hard time paying their rent have to pay more for our drink? Maybe it's my little way to give back.
And he said that, and I remembered that from a couple years ago when he first said that. And I love like specific decks, like a deck with a really nice design like these. I love those. I love them, and they got meaning to me, stuff like that. And the skate shops just didn't have anything like that, and of course I had to go with one of these. But let me ask you, which one do you think that I got? So I got one of these 3, and I want you to see in the next video. I'm gonna reveal it. Big out.